I don't even know if my mic is on. Okay, we had a little technical difficulties going on there. Grand Rising. Welcome to. I told somebody welcome to Thursday yesterday, but no, welcome to Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Come on, spring. Whew, Grand Rising. Yesterday, I was on a live, and it's amazing how 1 second, somebody can make a comment, maybe not even realizing the comment is going to start something. And this is not even personal to the person that it happened to. I totally forgive him, considering how America is. It's so many double standards out here that has been going on for so long. It's like a natural thing that we do to each other. Maybe not even realize it. Sometimes you're hurting someone, sometimes you're traumatizing someone, sometimes you're triggering someone. And I'm learning about what is it? Emotional alchemy. Emotional alchemy. Your ability to transform hate, discontent. I would add more than just hate. I would, because I don't really hate anything. Certain things trigger me, and that's because things have happened that have made imprints in my being. And turning this triggering frequency that others share with you is a real process. 10 years ago, I wouldn't try to change my emotions, reroute them, try to keep them positive, especially if they started off negative. Transforming hate into compassion, transforming content into compassion. I'm learning a lesson on appreciation, and it's been a long lesson. I have had to lose and get back. I've had to lose again and get it back. I finally realized that I don't have control over instances that causes problems, issues in my life. I don't have control to have I don't have control of every single thing on this planet where I can set up my life for no mistakes, no disruptions, no outside forces. It is totally impossible. It's totally impossible to live here and just go straight through without any resistance. And the way I was raised in Baptist and disciple Christianity, I'm not knocking it, but for me, myself, it wasn't enough, or it wasn't explained, or it wasn't broken down for me to be able to dissect it and actually utilize it in my life. Like Growing up, mommy always told me to turn the other cheek. You know, um, children stay in a children's place. You don't have feelings. Like I just was a little robot or something. I don't know. And I'm not putting this all on Christianity. My mother was born in 1914 in Johnston County, North Carolina. The structure set for them was horrific. It broke them down as a people. It broke them down as a nation. It broke them down as a family. And it's amazing that I was even able to experience. See, this is what I'm learning, and I had to share this today. Grand Rising is 6:28 in New York City, February the 3rd, 2022. And I'm really working through a vibration of realization that appreciation is really important in all instances, even the bad ones. Like to find compassion, empathy, understanding in all situations. I have a lot of situations that this book is helping me remold them. Yes, when I was going through them, they were horrific. They were traumatizing. They were hard. I felt punished. I was like, what did I do to deserve these things? Why are people treating me this way? But now that I look back, I don't blame myself anymore. Looking further back, past before I got here, and looking into the people that were involved, my father, my mother, my adopted father, my adopted mother, and researching the years of their life and what they had to come through is really giving me an appreciation through my animosity, through my hurt, through my abandonment, through my neglect from these people, even as far as me being a living secret. In the beginning, I was angry. I wanted to go dig people up. I wanted to have a seance and bring them back here so I could get my point across to them of what they actually did to my life, whether they intended it or not. But that is the part that stops me, whether they intended it. See, I have an appreciation for the way I can think for myself. And that is not something I started during a pandemic. That is something I was forced to do as a little girl, stuck here, living out other people's actions. I could have been adopted by anybody in the world. I could have been adopted by Anita Baker. Nobody can tell me Anita Baker was not my mother. I'm like, this lady is on tour and she is going to get off tour and she is going to come get me from these people's house. This is what I used to tell myself as a child just to get through every day. This is why I woke up angry every day, because Anita Baker hadn't got there yet. I even appreciate what I did there. I didn't really understand what I was doing. But as I look back at this little girl, I'm appreciative for every, what do you call it? Every action I received pushed me to give a reaction. I used to be at my uncle's house, and one of my cousins, I will never forget this. And I'm going to be appreciative and turn this into compassion. She did not know who I was. I was a complete stranger to these people. They didn't know my family. No one knew what anyone looked like. My cousin came in. She was like, "Who is this little boy, Catherine?" I'm not even going to tell you how I reacted to that. I definitely did not react in a good way. I knew nothing of emotional alchemy. I knew nothing of going through trauma and pain and actually not appreciating it, but appreciating the process of growth that if handled correctly, would actually give me. And see, I knew nothing of this form of alchemy. I knew nothing of emotions. And all of us are raised normally. It's very rampant here. A lot of us are raised in a cycle, and a cycle continuing from those before, which is why I don't understand how the United States social structure expects one people to forget their past in 2022. Now, if I could just tell the good parts of my story in my life, if I only acknowledge the good parts of my story in my life, I would not exist. If I only walked and admitted by what was good in my life, I would be nothing. Because I can see where my growth came from. My growth came from feeling on the outside, trying to understand why these people were so old. There were so many things that I did not understand, which had a truth. But for some reason, I will assume that the people involved may have thought that they were doing the best thing. Now I'm gonna need some time to appreciate that part. I'm a work in progress. I'm gonna need more time to be appreciative in all things, good, bad, and ugly. And it is a real process. But in order for me to move forward, case in point, my divorce, I was talking to my daughter's therapist yesterday, and I'm so proud of my daughter for taking steps that I'm finally taking in my 40s. She's taking these steps in her teens. I'm giving her room to see the world as it really is. And she has experienced it. She has definitely experienced the brokenness of the Black family. She's experienced the contempt adults and family members have for one another. She's seen that. And it's a hard process. She's been mistreated by family. And I want her to understand that even with all of these things going on, maybe not what you want, there is a way that you have to take. Like, you have to process things in your life. You can't just sit on them. You can't just expect it to fix itself. It doesn't work that way. I believe in manifestation. I believe in the power of words. I want to be an example of a being, one person who honestly had every odd stacked against them. And it's kind of a competition with myself. I know that I can fall. I know that I can get depressed and stay there. I watched my daughter go through depression. It was very hard to do as a parent, like for me, because I know how you get depressed. Actions happen that hurt, and you lose hope. And I'm learning to appreciate the process because now I'm understanding it's not about, you're losing hope. I don't believe it. You have to learn to put you first and believe in you. See, when I was younger, I put my faith in people and everybody else, the church. And this is not knocking religion. But until someone can prove me that man is perfect, until someone can show me that man is perfect, every man on this planet is a nation builder, not a nation destroyer. I have to appreciate that all things are not for me. America is all over the place. I saw a story where there was a pastor and a wife, supposedly, I guess, helping special needs people, and they were abusing them and taking their money. We all have these images where we want to be this image. But behind the image, there's all of these rugs with all of this stuff under it. I am today appreciative that I know that I can believe in myself and trust myself and the God in me. I can't look out into the world and see what's happening and not live accordingly. Listen to New York. Early. Grand Rising, 6:41 a.m. It is February the 3rd, 2022. I'm just speaking on being appreciative in all things. It is so important. It is actually a catalyst to growth. This book is going to change me, and I hope that it changes at least one child, one teen, one adult, and one elder. We lost a friend this week, and I'm still thinking about how many children she affected positively. especially mine. Even though my daughter really doesn't remember most of the people in Philly because she was so young and going to school and stuff. So a lot of people like on the block or in the bar, that was really close to me. Even though they went to our parties, she was super young. She doesn't really remember Heston. Like I don't really remember T.M. Pierce. I barely remember Four Oaks Middle. I wasn't even there long. So I never went to Four Oaks Elementary. I went to T.S. Pierce in Philly. T.M. Pierce. So I don't really remember it. I just remember that gym outfit, that blue romper. They used to cut my legs at the bottom because they was too big. The snap buttons down the front. And I remember recess. I remember the yard. That's all I really remember. So I believe her. She doesn't really remember everybody. But I'm just so appreciative for this space of growth that I have actually created in my heart, in my home, and to on YouTube. I want to thank you for subscribing. Thank you for showing support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support with my music. I got buck broken. I went through something with the music. I definitely was born in the wrong lifetime. If I was going to do music, by the time I was trying to get into the industry, it had been completely weaponized against us. Sexual abuse was rampant. I just got out of it. It broke my spirit for music. But I didn't understand, like, this structure here makes us believe that we can't get recognition. We can't do anything without recognition from this nation who honestly does not benefit from us being okay and balanced and thriving. I appreciate that. Oh, I look back and as imbalanced as everything was that was going on year after year after year after year, even though then I was not appreciative of anything that was going on. I had no appreciation for anything that was going on. Absolutely not. But now, as I sit where I am, almost like victorious, like I'm sitting here feeling like a winner. I was fighting battles that no one knew was going on when I was born. I have been a heat seeker for the truth for decades. Some years I just gave up. I drank every day. It was too much. I didn't understand. I didn't have the mentality that I have now. And I'm celebrating this every morning. I'm going to get up and celebrate this new turn on my journey. This is the same journey. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I had not went through everything I went through from yesterday on back. And it's hard. Why did I deserve all this stuff? Why am I healing from something that happened to my mom when she was a child? Why? I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm working on them. What I do have, and you may not even understand me at this point, because one of my girlfriends was like, girl, I applaud you because anybody else would be terrified and ashamed to speak this, to tell their truth. And I say, you know what? After living 40 years imbalanced, lost, confused, lied on, lied to, that is where my shame is. I do have shame for what these people did. I'm totally ashamed. Totally. And that is the flesh and the voquisha in me. Because I don't play about the children. Okay. Yeah, I that is where my shame is. But see, I can't stay in these people's shame. And I have to come out of there and appreciate that I can even have that mindset of thinking. I can't stay in their shame. My mother lived her whole life in shame. I mean, her entire life. To this day, she is on the journey that she created from that shame. Set apart. I haven't seen her in 12 years. I haven't heard her voice. I don't know if she's alive today. I'm not sure if something happens, I'll even be notified. I I refuse. I refuse to go that route. I will not live in shame for other people's actions. And I'm even going to be appreciative in all things, even the good, the bad, the ugly. My birth was not pretty. There's no cleaning it up. No matter how you want to, you can switch it around and move it around and make it normalized. There's nothing nice about it. Nothing. The only greatness that came from that was me and my daughter and my descendants to come. So why would I fight my spirit that was born out of trauma? Why would I war with myself? Why? Why would I do that? I never had this clarity until today. Every day I'm blossoming with my new truth. Some people say, what are you talking about? Listen, if you haven't been following, you have to go all the way back. This started so long. This started the moment, the time that my birth. I'm looking for that information now. When I asked my adopted mom, do you know what time I was born? I don't even know what I was thinking. If my mom left me in the hospital, how would she know these things? How would she know these things? But then I was told she brought me home from the hospital, as opposed to the story that was told to me that I was left in the hospital, stayed in a homeless shelter for babies for 2 months, and then got adopted, which I do see my adoption papers took 2 months to be signed by a judge. But I've got two families telling two different stories. My maternal side is saying one thing, and my adopted side is saying another. And I'm in the middle trying to figure this all out on my own with everyone dead except for my mother. But she's not accessible. And I don't blame her because this process that I'm going through now, someone was supposed to help her through this same process. But instead, she held on to what happened to her. And it has rerouted her whole journey. And today I'm appreciative for all of this mess. I'm appreciative for all that I have built. I'm appreciative for everything I have learned from each one of these people. I don't want to focus on the trauma and the bad parts because it doesn't represent me. That represents them. Grand Rising is 6:52 a.m. I'm a little late this morning, but then again, I'm not really late. I really we've been having some issues with Gina's blood. Thinking that in about a few minutes she gets another injection. We did another injection at 3 a.m. because she's been super high. Super high. Super high. So we're gonna do some adjustments today, and I'm hoping that they give us good results. If not, we'll try again tomorrow. This is the process of type 1. It's an everyday thing. Some moments I get exhausted, some moments I get frustrated, but at the end of the day, I'm appreciative for all of this because it's a part of my life. It's a part of everyday life for me. And I don't want to live a life that I can't be appreciative for. And if you're doing that, stop. Find some tools to help you reverse it. I lived unappreciative and cold for a long time. My brother, my God, rest his soul. It's a process, and it didn't just start with me, but it ends here. It ends here. This generational hamster wheel of trauma and trauma bonding and just cycle of madness, it stops here. Hiding the trauma but still living the trauma out in society, it stops here. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And it's amazing growing up, all of these signs have always been with me. All of these links to this trauma have always been with me, and they were ignored. They were looked at as I was a problem. I'm even appreciative for that because now I know how not to be treated. Now I know how not to treat others. I am so in love with myself right now. I have really just been loving on myself and my emotions. This space I created here is my favorite part of my day, where I can come here socially and share insights and perspectives from my individual view, my individual life. I'm one little life here, one little one. But I'm attached to many spirits, many actions before me. And we all have a duty to find our path. I don't want to live my whole life, I don't want to live my whole life living out someone else's path and someone else's dreams and someone else's decisions. Honesty with myself is my gift to myself. And I'm just so appreciative for this new frequency that I found. And it's just totally amazing. It's mind-blowing. I don't know if I will ever be the same as I was before. Honestly, this is a good thing for me because I was all over the place. All over the place. And I won't blame a soul. No one's to blame here. In the beginning, I was blaming people, but I'm taking classes to understand what the hell is going on here in America and why blacks are in the condition that they are in. And for the past few months, this class has really been helping me understand there are some battles you won't even see me fight because it's just not worth it. I'm appreciative to have the opportunity to learn these things. It's actually a lifesaver. Growth is a lifesaver. I want to spread love to you and your family and your day. There's so many things going on. It's hard to stay positive. And for me to be positive like this every day in a row is a gift. And it's only happening due to my understanding and my new perception of life and people and emotions. Someone said I'm an alchemist. I wouldn't go that far, but maybe I am. Who knows? I didn't start with a title and align myself with a title. I'm already aligned with the journey. The details are coming in after. Because I've been on this journey forever. I just got the details myself. I just got insight to what was going on. I just got insight into who I am. There's a process some of us don't ever make it to. There's a process some of us don't even know exists. Some of us are stuck in a rut, thinking I have to keep doing what I've been doing to keep everything going and not realizing you're moving in the same place. You're moving, using all this energy, you're going hard and you're standing still. I can't be that person anymore. And I'm talking about myself. I've been there. I've been there so imbalanced to where every response to whatever was just it was just wrong. It took me a long time to gain understanding. And I'm appreciative for everything in my life, my space, my home, my podcast, my family, my friends, my amazing friends. I want to thank my friend from California. I received the cutest care package yesterday with the most good smelling coffee in this package. 2 separate types of coffee from California. I'm actually sipping on it right now. We've got the Donut Shop blend from Cali today. I want to thank my friend I'm not going to put his name out there, but I have been able to connect with some amazing people. And you guys light up my life. We may bump heads on something, but that never takes away from the fact that we have a real connection in our struggle out here. And I honor you. I really thank you for thinking of me. I really do. I really appreciate it. What are you appreciative for? Are you appreciative for trauma, the bad parts? Or are you just sticking with, oh, I'm appreciative for my raise? I'm appreciative. You know what? My daughter went in a coma. And after her coma, she is heavily dependent on insulin. And most people don't know that type 1 is very hard to manage and deal with. And it is very important that you actually give it 110% of attention, because the more work you put into it, the better the results you'll receive, which in turn, those results is what's keeping you alive and not with worse complications or death. And in the beginning and in the middle, I'm like, how can I do this? I need to go to work. I had a personal assistance business. I need to be able to get out and do things. You about to take your insulin? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I was gonna mute this, but go ahead. 175, 15 classes. Okay, we're taking 15 a day. That's right. So we're going up once. We're gonna watch it extra today. All right, my love. Grand rising to you. Take your needle and get you a little bit more sleep. Yeah, we just did another needle 3 hours ago. I feel so sorry for my baby at times. But then I also feel appreciative that my daughter is still here. Full use of her brain, limited use of her eyes, but she's doing very well. We reversed a lot of damage that was done over the years that we accumulated without having the correct medical equipment that other states denied me for until I got here. Why would they deny me for something that would keep my child alive? I have no idea. But I have been learning since this happened to her. I have been having to learn this system out here in order to ensure she has what she needs. Her medical expenses are in the double digits of the thousands, period. One moment at a time, I'm just so appreciative that I can care for her, not be homeless, have an income, have space to build a brand, build a business while caring for her. I'm even appreciative for the fact that I can homeschool her. And I'm not doing it for me. I'm actually doing it for her and her future. I want to invest in her what I feel like should have been invested in me. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I wasn't treated like this. I didn't have no feelings and I got beat down every day. If I looked at my mama wrong, I got a whooping with whatever she could get her hands on. A beating. Who would I be if I chose to repeat what I learned? That's what I'm appreciative for. I'm appreciative for discernment. All things, all things. It is all well. I want to send love to my sister, my nieces, nephews, cousins. You guys are amazing. I appreciate every phone call to my cousins these days. Excuse me. They are, I guess, seeing me for actually who I really am, and I'm literally reintroducing myself to the world. Because before a couple of months ago, I've been making everything up. I've been winging it. I don't know why I took so long to take this DNA test, but I did. Sometimes I get mad at myself for letting me suffer for so long. In the beginning, I was angry with my parents and everyone involved because they watched me suffer for so long when all I needed was the truth. And it parallels so eerily with America and the United States. Like we as a people would be fine if outsiders would do their due diligence. Something that has never been done for us in our homes and families. I'm not speaking for every black, so-called black. I do not identify with that. I'm sorry. I have my own reasons. I've already shared the bill. They've already told us black and white was made to dilute identities. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with our people about it. Everyone learns in their own time and in their own way. My life is so parallel to the United States. It's crazy. All it takes is some healing in the truth to fix this place. Some healing in the truth. But the thing is, people are not appreciative for everything that they've been through. You want to hide the bad parts. You want to look out into society and let them see you as perfect, which is impossible to be. I don't know what this calling is over my life, but I know that there is one, and I'm answering it day by day, moment by moment. 7:08 a.m., February the 3rd, 2022. I want to thank you now and on the replay for joining me this morning early. I want to send you love and peace. And I hope that you have that in your mind and your spirit. I am so amazed with my own self. Like, I really have never felt like this in my whole entire life. And it kind of scares me because I'm like, oh my God, am I going to die? It's like when something really good happens, like, is this the end? Oh my goodness. I try not to dwell on it. I have anxiety super bad. I'm so used to getting the shit end of the stick. And I think that's where my appreciation comes from, because I went through trauma after trauma after trauma. And after each one, I stood tall, maybe bruised. My eye probably needed steroids. I almost got knocked out my head. I mean, I went through so much. Every day I just came back for more with the same mentality. Now, I don't have those issues in my life. Most people that are on a negative vibe can't really get on my level. Like, we can't come together and communicate. I trauma bonded with honestly, I think everyone that I know, I trauma bonded with you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. Like, the psychologist should really be calling my phone trying to get an interview with me. I mean, I trauma bonded with my adopted mother as an infant. Literally. This is why when she beat me and beat me and beat me, it never had an equilibrium to it. There never was I love you now. I love you. You're my daughter. I love you. I never got that. It was beatings, and this is what the Bible said for me to do you, and you're going to learn. That was it. You don't have feelings. Children don't have feelings. You're not allowed to have feelings. Mind you, with me saying this, there are family members today who probably want to cuss me out. Why she's always talking about my aunt? Go to hell. Seriously. Let's be honest here. If my mother was living today, she'd probably be 120. But if she was living today and able to be in her right mind, we would be having this discussion. She would apologize. I never understood her apology when she died. Before she passed, it was the weirdest conversation, and it sits with me a lot. And my mom said, Michelle, I said, yes, mommy. She was holding my daughter. She died right after she saw her. She said, I want to live long enough to see my grandchild, and I want to leave here. I'm sick of this place. She meant that. She went in the hospital the same day I put my daughter in her arms. She was dead in a few days after. She was serious. She said, I just wanted to see you have this baby. That's what she meant. If we were able to have this conversation and I was able to tell her the truth, something that she was robbed of as well, I can't even sit here and say that she would have treated me the same had she been told the truth. See, I'm not like everybody else when it comes to, oh, this happened. Oh, nobody can find this out about us. We have to sweep this under the rug. I'm telling you, my girlfriend yesterday was like, and she really had me cracking up. She was like, girl, do you know if most people that I know would be ashamed to breathe this anywhere and you're actually online? Listen, I lived this tragedy in real time in front of everyone. I've been in a newspaper being gossiped about. Yeah. My childhood was traumatizing down there in Clan County, Johnston County. Okay? It was rough. It was rough. And I'm not complaining. I'm appreciating those moments because now when I see what's going on in America today, I have a real humane reminder of what was done to these people, to our people. Maybe if my mother hadn't adopted me and lied to adopt me because she was too old, maybe I would have never been sensitive to their strife, how most of us are today. We don't even care that my mama was born in a breeding state. A lot of your grandparents, great grandparents were bred. You don't even know that. That's trauma. Those children were born in trauma. They lived through trauma their whole life. Not made in love. You know what it's like to not be made in love? You're looking at one right here. So my life, maybe I was put with these people so that I could actually identify with the struggle of us here. It won't be just a folklore or a fairy tale to me because my mom was born in 1914 that raised me and her husband was born in 1899, okay? So these stories that they want to take out the library and these stories that we can't speak about with people outside of us, these stories are real and they impacted people. I would have never been beat the way I was if she had never been beat like this. If she hadn't went through some type of abuse in the military. God knows what she went through. She was a hurt person and she died with that hurt and she never expressed it. I don't want to be these people. My mother is living that same thing out right now, my birth mother. Holding on to what happened to her 43 years ago. It ate her life out from the inside out. She's on a feeding tube. She's had numerous strokes. I could go on and on. So when I tell you, I sit in appreciation in this moment, in the next, for a real reason. Not because I'm being told to, because people are telling me you should be ashamed. People are telling me, we don't know what to tell you to do about this. It's that huge. It's that bad. Whatever you do, we'll accept it. However you feel, if you want to cuss every day, we'll accept it. You have that right. No, the right that I have is to appreciate all things before me, learn them, study them, fix them within myself. I can't go back and do anything, change anything for these people. I wasn't even given the opportunity to know my DNA, to make a conscious decision. Do I want to bring a child into this life knowing where I came from? I wasn't given that opportunity. That was taken from me. Now I have a daughter that I had to explain why grandmom's not with us. And I have, her other granddaughter, I have to explain to her why grandmom's not in your life. Why she has to be on the other side of the United States, but she doesn't have to see any of our faces, especially mine. Do you know what that's like? And in the beginning, I blamed these people, but now I know the real culprit. I know the real culprit of all of this. It all is connected to what this government has done to my people. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. You can call me paranoid. You can call me whatever you want. I lived this. And I'm still living with as a remnant of dispossession. And a lot of us are, and we don't understand it, and we don't know that, and it's going to eat you alive. Me being a heat seeker for the truth was not by chance. I would have never searched so hard for answers if they didn't exist. They've been calling out to me for decades. This is why I never could spiritually connect with these people, because they were lying to me. They were feeding me a story, and I acted on that story. Do you know how many people I told I was a crack baby? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Now, that is embarrassing. To go around your whole life as a child, and a teen, and an adult, telling people, listen, and then I would skip grades. I'm like, well, I'm very smart to be a crack baby. I'm totally intelligent to be a crack baby. And it was all a lie. What does your identity have to do with you? Everything. Like, I could not match up with the identity they assigned to me. Why does this parallel with America and what it did to us? It's just so creepy. This has to be a repeating cycle. Like, they did it first to us, and it's like we just keep doing it and doing it and doing it well. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I'm not teaching my daughter these patterns. I'm not showing her that that is normal, because it is not. I give her the truth. I got married in a shell of a being that I didn't know. Hardest thing to do is to be someone you're not. And I was forced to do that. But I'm appreciative for this whole process, because I would have never understood what really is going on here. I would never have power to change it. But it took me doing the work to look for what is going on. So I'm buying books now. I'm doing studies. I'm taking this Africanist class. I have been awarded a scholarship for a year, and it is breathing life into me, because I've been through so many things, even with institutions that I never understood what is going on. But now I have a new clarity. And I'm so appreciative in all things, the good, the bad, the ugly, because it's all connected. I don't get to separate any of this. There is no separation. You don't get to pick and choose parts of your life you want to keep and say the embarrassing or the shameful ones you have to hide. No, you have to face it all. And that is what I have learned through this whole process of theirs that I was born into, whether I chose it or not. I'm the only one doing the real work. And maybe that's why I chose them, chose my parents, chose this situation. I don't think that I really don't want to believe that, but I have to tell myself that. Excuse me. I am definitely a work in progress. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a monk because I have triggers. I still have to hone. There's a lot. It's a lot. But again, I will say I'm appreciative for it all. I want to thank you for joining me and hearing me out here on BlockCast episode number 44. Can you believe I've made 40 of these things plus 4? Wow. 7:22 a.m. in New York City. Grand Rising to California, honey. I'm enjoying this coffee donut shop blend. Okay. I want to thank my friend for the shipment that I received yesterday. It is delicious. And I'm so excited to taste this chocolate coffee. February 3rd, 2022. What are you appreciative for? I'm not talking about materialistic things. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm appreciative for my car. I'm not talking about that. You're supposed to be. Of course you are. Everyone needs to get around. Everyone needs somewhere to live. Are you appreciative for your struggles? Are you appreciative in all things, or are you only appreciative when things are going your way? I want you to have a beautiful, beautiful, safe Thursday. This week is flying past. I am grateful that I am a part of it. I want to send condolences to my friends, family, and her friends. We definitely had a huge loss this week. And I am going to honor her by continuing to take care of Gina to my best ability. Excuse me, my best ability. And also taking care of myself and being appreciative for every moment that I have left. Please be safe and aware. I will talk to you in the morning, and I love you.